Going on, people? Just a quick update on Cardano ADA, and I think it's fair to say that this weekend has been boring, but it's to be expected considering on weekends you do tend to have the least amount of activity. And so, yeah, with that being said, in my previous video, I did talk about how I am currently tracking a wave 2 move to the downside, and our target sit anywhere between 67 cents and 74 cents. And I do anticipate that the wave 1 is now confirmed, and we have a 5 wave move to the upside to complete this wave 1. Now, within this fifth wave, I was targeting anywhere between 84 cents and 87 cents. However, our wave 5 ended up falling short and it ended up truncating. And that does tend to happen from time to time. It's rare that it happens, but it does happen. And so, yeah, here I am now. I do anticipate that we are currently in a wave 2. And of course, the structure could change over the course of the day, over the course of the next couple of days, who knows. But as things stand, I do anticipate that we are in a wave 2 and that we are in a 3 wave move to the downside. And what we are potentially seeing at the moment is a WXY within our wave 2, so something like so. And we are currently in a wave X. Now, as for our wave X is typically a 50% to an 88.2% retracement of our wave W. And so to check our minimum requirements have been met, you can see here that the target range is anywhere between 79 cents and 82 cents. So we do fall within that range. And so, yeah, as things stand, you can see by this red candlestick that the bears do have the momentum. And so, yeah, now we could be potentially in a move to the downside. Now, what's also interesting about this is if I just remove this for a second, that smart money concept is indicating that there is a weak high at that 83 cent mark. And so who knows, maybe we could push through our target and breach past the 83 cent mark. But in addition to that, stochastic RSI is indicating that we are overbought, and so there is some room to the downside. And so yeah, only time will tell really. Maybe another structure could be forming that I'm not aware of. But as things stand, I do anticipate that we are in a wave 2 move to the downside, with this being a correction, and we have a WXY structure that's forming. And yeah, there will be one final push to the downside before we see moves to the upside. Now, if I quickly go on to the 4-hour chart. Now, on the 4-hour chart, smart money concept is indicating that there is a strong high at that 83 cent mark. And of course, that does align with my analysis with regards to this being a wave 2 and this being a WXY structure. And so, yeah, it's going to be interesting to track. We do sit above the 50 EMA level. And given that on our stochastic RSI, we are slowly reaching the overbought region, it will be interesting to see if we retest that 50 EMA level. And should we retest that 50 EMA level, will we find support or will we continue to push on down towards our targets sitting at 67 cents and 74 cents? And so, yeah, that's ADA on the 4-hour chart. Now, if I move on quickly to the daily chart, once again, on the daily chart, we do sit above the 200 EMA level, and however, we do sit below the 50 EMA level. Now, stochastic RSI is indicating that we are in the overbought region, and so there is some room to the downside. And the thing that's on my mind at the moment is whether or not we will retest that 200 EMA level, which does sit within my target for our wave 2, between once again 67 cents and 74 cents. And it's a question of whether or not we will find support or we will continue to push on down, potentially reaching the lower target at that 67 cent range. And so, yeah, as things stand, I am anticipating that there is some room to the downside, and I do anticipate this being, a final flush before we see moves to the upside, potentially targeting that $1 range as I was talking about earlier on. And yeah, I do think it will be a good opportunity to be buying in at these lower prices. Now, of course, it's not financial advice. This is just what I'm anticipating to take place. What's interesting about this is, we did find some resistance at that 50 EMA, sorry, 200 EMA, which did sit within our fair value gap. And so this was another good opportunity to be buying in at these low prices. But I do anticipate us once again going lower, and our fair value gap actually does sit within my price target as well. And so yeah, it will be interesting to track over the next couple of days what takes place. And so yeah, that's just my quick update once again on Cardano ADA. And so yeah, if you're new, feel free to subscribe and give it a like. Take it easy, people. Peace.